Thank you. I'm one of the individuals, as Pam mentioned, will be working with you if you have any interest working with the city representative. I'm just going to talk to you about some of the things that have taken place on Broadway. We have been working with the Businesses on Broadway group for at least a year or 2 years now. And some of you may have noticed some of the physical improvements that have taken place on the north half of Broadway, from Main Street down to the railroad tracks just north of General Electric. A lot of those physical improvements came from a request from the West Central Neighborhood Association, and it was provided by the generous seated allocations from Councilman Pate and the previous at-large members. Some of those improvements you'll note are new concrete walks, ornamental street lighting, and we'll also be replacing some of the street trees along there. So those are some physical improvements that are being made. One of the other things that we're looking at as a request from the Businesses on Broadway group is to stripe parking along Broadway so that people know that there are places along the Broadway corridor in which they can park. This was something, it sounds so simple, but it's so necessary. This was something that the Wells Business Group requested on North Wells Street. It certainly helped the customers along Wells Street identify where they can park, where they can't park. So something so simple as that certainly is going to have a benefit to your customers along Broadway. And this is something we're looking at putting in our work program for 2009. And thus far we've identified about 219 parking stalls, parking spaces from Main Street south to Bluffton Road. So that's certainly one improvement that we're wanting to put forward next year. The other thing I wanted to talk about, not a very sexy or exciting thing, not that parking stalls is sexy and exciting, but it's in your packet, and certainly look along, but just a change in zoning along Broadway to a new neighborhood commercial corridor zoning designation. This again is something that we developed working in association with the Wells Corridor Business Group and the Businesses on Broadway group to develop a corridor designation which really makes sense in this day and age. A lot of the zoning that we have in place really isn't conducive to the type of business district that Broadway really is. And for that fact, for that matter, a lot of our commercial areas such as West Main Street, Wells Street, East State, all of these areas are older commercial areas. Historically, they have very minimum setbacks or zero setbacks. They don't really have a lot of space for on-street park or on-site parking. And so we've tried to develop a corridor zoning that addresses those issues and recognizes that it's a historic corridor, it's an important asset to the city. It needs to be maintained as it historically was developed. And so we've created the zoning designation. Wells Street has already rezoned a portion of their district to this new corridor zoning. As I said, it's something we're working with on the Business on Broadway. So the area that we've identified is the area where the railroad tracks are north of GE up to Washington Boulevard. And so that's probably the first place we're going to be looking at rezoning. If you have any questions, certainly, or if you have an interest in this type of zoning designation for your area of Broadway, certainly give me a call. My name and contact information is in the packet, or you can contact me and see what we're seeing. Thanks.